Where's Jeremy? Jeremy, come on up. Yeah. So you know how to work a computer, right?
So we're just going to show a funny little video real quick, but I'm Jeremy Wallenberg. I'm with sf.citi. It's the Citizens Initiative for Technology and Innovation. We've been around for about a year and a half now. Our mission is to leverage the collective power of the technology sector as a force for civic action in San Francisco. So our chairman is Ron Conway, our vice chair is Heather Hardy. They're folks that are pretty well known in the technology world, I think. And I'll show the video really quick just to get a taste, I guess. That's where we at here. I'll be brief too. I'll keep it brief. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up, that's for sure. So this is a video we created last year with some of our board members and partners. We have about 600 technology companies and organizations in the city on board, from some big players to probably 90% tons of startups under 25 people. And the idea is to be a civic force and coalesce the technology sector into one platform,
This is
essentially.
technology at its greatest, right here.
There you go. So this video was we cookied a lot of people off this one, but it was essentially for Proposition E, which was on the ballot last year.
No.
You can always skip it if it's.
How's the internet for you guys? Isn't it great? Internet event with shitty internet. Yes. See those beads of sweat? Those are real. Nothing like live.
We can always forego if it's.
Yeah, but we need the internet.
It's not that good of a video, to be honest. It's pretty good. It's funny, but it's like.
Did Portal A do that for you?
Yeah. There we go.
Well, that sucks.
Well, you can always check it out on our website, of course.
Alrighty then. Great video, man.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. It's a good start. So, okay, so yeah, you can check it out online. It's up online. Yes.
What are your different programs?
So yes, we have about 6 or so different pillars of focus. Our idea was to try to pick a few different things, do them well, and we're really sort of a connector and convener. So we liaison with city government, Mayor Lee. We work pretty parallel and pretty well with them, and we also sort of bring along technology partners who can provide solutions to historic issues facing San Francisco around public safety, transportation, education, job creation, sort of government innovation, sort of a catch-all that underlies a lot of it. So we've done everything from place high school kids at different technology companies and paid summer internships to really engaging in concrete civic improvement projects with technology as the solution. So, for example, San Francisco Police Department, one of the fairly large municipal police departments in the country, got email department-wide last year. So, we're sitting in a city with thousands of technology companies, but our police department got email last year for the first time. So that's just clearly sort of a lag going on. So we talked to Chief Sir, and about 30 to 40% of his officers' daily time is wasted by having to come back from the field to fill out field reports when an incident happens at their station of origin. Now, these are sort of like old, they have to wait for desktops to free up or their typewriters. You're not learning from data. So we thought, obviously, we can kill that problem if we just bring them mobile technology. So we're working with AT&T, who's providing some of the funding. ArcTouch is a local app studio in the area. And essentially the idea, to keep it short, is to bring mobile technology to the police force in San Francisco. SFMTA, so I'm sure a lot of you probably ride the bus. You'll raise your hand if you want, but I'm sure it's a lot of us. So there's 50 line managers in San Francisco. A line manager is out there across the city, fanned out, with pencil, paper, and a cell phone, monitoring when buses come in, Van Ness at this time, so on and so forth. If there's bunching, problems, catastrophe, emergency, things like that. And they're logging this data by hand, and then it's like carbon copies, and then they're calling in via cell phone to 4 lines to sort of mission control. Hopefully that person answers, hopefully they get it out to the right person, maybe that person's at lunch, do they answer, do they get the right utility vehicle or emergency responder? So a hackathon that was sort of sponsored by the mayor called Summer of Smart last year created a group of sort of transit and technology wonks, came up with a program called Smart Muni. It's iPad-based, real-time system for Muni. So you see all the different lines, everything going on at the same time. The data is being aggregated. A problem happens, you can click it, line turns red, you can send the report, everyone sees what's going on at the same time. So essentially, we, again, sort of brought together different partners for that project, the government, the technology companies themselves, someone for funding, and brought it as a sort of public-private partnership with the tech industry driving it as a solution to a problem in the city. So a lot of this, so what we do is we pilot a lot of these different things and then hand it and gift it to the governments to see if they can do it, and then try to move from there. We're working with the Warriors who are coming here and a few other different developments on the waterfront to mitigate transportation, real-time routing, data from aggregation from that in real time, because that's one of the pain points in the area and one of the worries about a lot of different development in the waterfront area in San Francisco. So I wanted to open it up to questions. I want to keep it brief. It's a fabulous video. I'm glad you all got to see that. And I'll leave it kind of brief. I'll let you all open it up. Does anyone have any questions in particular?
Thank you, Jeremy. Sorry about that. We're working on it. So now's your time to ask some good questions, guys. Grab the microphone here.
Citizenville, I think it's a great book. I think I definitely cruised through that one. I read that one. That was good. He says a lot of good things. There's a lot of different, I'd say probably one of the main takeaways that's really important right now, which Mayor Lee in San Francisco is trying to be sort of a leader on. I actually just got back from the U.S. Conference of Mayors in Las Vegas. Probably a horrible place to hold that, by the way, for all the mayors in the United States. But open data and driving open data in governments, releasing data sets, finding out different protocols to be able to have a chief data officer, which is pretty new to a lot of different governments, municipalities as well. So you can create protocols across different departments and standards for releasing these different data sets, which, as we know, can spur economic enterprise. It helps with transparency, transportation as well, I'm sure, at some point. And it's a beautiful thing. I think that's probably my main takeaway from that book, is that the different things that are going on in government in terms of technology partnering and driving it, because government moves a lot slower than the private sector. So it can definitely help force some of the change. That's for sure. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes, a question. So the city has a problem, a technology firm can put a solution, but is there any funding or any money that comes into play, and where does it come from?
That's a good question. So that's always a good question. I think that's a lot of what we do, is we try to, we have these relationships. My whole background's in politics. I didn't have a tech background. I have pretty good mentors at SV Angel and sort of with Ron's crew and whatnot, and being with all of our different companies, liaisoning with the 600 CEOs and founders from small startups to big ones. So the idea is that we can talk to government, we can identify historic problems in the city, we can talk to the tech industry and try to look at them in new ways. And then our job, too, is to sort of help facilitate that. So we will go to different member companies and find that funding, essentially is what we'll do. We'll build the relationships, whether it's we cast a wide net and sort of a call to action to lots of different small startups who can do it, different companies, or we talk to larger companies that have foundations or relationships that we can build to make it happen. But of course, the government, you have to do RFP processes, and it takes a lot longer to get things through. But what we've sort of found our model, which for better or for worse, is to pilot these things first and then hand it over and say, this is what's possible, take it, leave it, run with it, do what you will. So any other questions?
Could you talk about what you're doing with education?
Yes. So we pulled our membership of all our different sort of board companies, and then just in general throughout all the different, it's like 16,000 people we're trying to talk to at a regular basis. Education always kept coming up as sort of a number one, number two, number three. So, but what does that mean? Does it mean bringing academy class to a classroom in San Francisco and piloting it? Does it mean wiring all the schools? Does it mean early education? Does it mean college? Does it mean a pipeline? So we thought that we've done a few different things, but I think the main one that we're working on right now is we've convened the human resources directors of some major companies in the technology industry in San Francisco, bring them with teachers and the school district. And there's 3 different schools in San Francisco, Galileo, Balboa, and Lowell, that have tech IT academies, gaming, robotics, and engineering and coding. And what we've done is we've convened these human resource directors and some experts too in the field in these different companies to start sponsoring these classes. So that the idea is that if we can start getting some of the younger folks to learn these skills now and have these opportunities, especially local, since these companies are local, to start, I mean, because quite frankly, we've talked to HR directors and they have relationships with professional headhunters who look for the best talent across the country. But if we can shift that to looking at students now and get the STEM education programs better, and companies to start, or, come in and sort of adopt these programs, we can sort of maybe create a local jobs hiring pipeline. That's the idea, for at least that's part of our education platform. We've done a few other things as well, but for brevity's sake, I'll keep it shorter.
We can do another question, or we can do this for 2 minutes.
Would you rather do another question, or would you rather see this video? For you want to touch it? Last time I touched it, it didn't happen.
Yeah, don't touch it.
That's okay. That was the video. There you go. But yeah, so I'd love for you to check out sf.citi.com. We're trying to bring on as many different companies as possible sort of on board. We'd love to hear ideas. We've been inundated all the time with different ideas. Turn out all the lights like that in the city, from everything from environment to education to you name it. So, and we have some good supporters too. So definitely check us out. Send us emails. We'd love to talk. And just sf.citi.com. You can find it there. sf.citi.com. And that's the YouTube page. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Hey, sorry about